Welcome to the Loveland Fall Sports podcast, where the land of love can get updates on not only Loveland sports, but learn and discuss many sports topics. Shoot any ideas you want to lovelandallsports@gmail.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook at the Loveland Fall Sports Pod. Loveland Fall Sports Pod is sponsored by Meredith DeWitt of Brittany Fritsch Realty, Loveland's #1 boutique brokerage. Contact Meredith for any and all of your real estate needs at meredithbfteam@gmail.com. This episode, we sit down with Shayne Lyons, Assistant Athletic Director of Loveland High School, to learn about Shayne, his background and goals, as well as get a fall wrap-up. We'll even learn about all of our awesome All-ECC members. So sit back and enjoy. Awesome. Well, we've got a great opportunity today here. We're sitting with someone that we all know behind the scenes at Loveland High School Athletics, Shayne Lyons. He's our Assistant Athletic Director and Site Manager at Loveland High School. Welcome, Shayne.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, it's good to get to know you. We've gotten to know a lot of coaches throughout the fall as we've been doing the podcast, and Jason Bruce was on, and a few people said we definitely have to get Shayne on. One, to get a chance to know you, and two, talk a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes at Loveland. But most importantly, we want to take this as an opportunity to give an update on all of our fall sports awards and fall sports. Due to the success of the girls soccer and girls volleyball, and then there were senior events, it was tough for the athletic office to have a fall sports awards. So we wanted to offer up a summary of all the teams and whatnot. So before we dig into that, Shayne, let's learn a little bit about you. So where's home and how did you get to Loveland?
So I'm a 2016 grad of Reynoldsburg High School, which is on the east side of Columbus. Most people don't know where Reynoldsburg is. So I just tell them it's right by Pickerington. People know where Pickerington is. So I'm a Columbus boy through and through. Sorry about your Hoosiers this weekend. But,
I was wondering if that would come up.
Big Buckeye guy. Yep. But after I graduated high school, I went and played baseball at Capital University for 4 years. And then during my time at Capital, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So during my junior year of college, I kind of reached out to my high school athletic director and said, hey, this is kind of something I want to look into doing. What can I do? And he goes, listen, I would love for you to work for me, but this job is all about who you know. So he got me an internship at Pickerington North High School during my junior year. So I interned there under Molly Fiesler, who's now actually the athletic director at Thomas Worthington, and kind of just fell in love with everything the athletic director did and like the day-to-day stuff being around sports. I grew up in sports. Yeah. And then once I graduated college, I was a COVID senior, like 2020. So I graduated basically in March. Yeah. Because I didn't do anything after that. Right. But during that time, I was applying for graduate assistantships down at the University of Cincinnati. So I was a graduate assistant at Roger Bacon High School down here, where Roger Bacon and UC SPAD has a partnership where I basically do my master's for free, but I work for Roger Bacon for a stipend every month through the University of Cincinnati. Nice. So that's kind of how I got introduced to Cincinnati. Kind of what brought me here was I was good friends with Clay George. Clay got the job here, and then I moved back to Reynoldsburg, where I was the junior high athletic director for a year, and then he called me and said, hey, I'm leaving, and Brian's leaving. We're bringing in Rich Bryant. Right. We would love to bring you down for an interview, all that. So that's kind of how I got connected to Loveland, and I ended up getting the job here, and I've been here ever since. This is my third year, I think, here. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Right. But I love Loveland. It's been a great time. I love the community. It's a little different from where I grew up. I grew up in a big city. I graduated with 850 people. So like the small town I really like, but it's not really that small of a town either. Right. So we graduate 320 kids. But no, I enjoy being in Loveland, and I enjoyed everybody I've met so far. Oh, that's awesome, man. Great to hear. So what other sports did you play growing up? I assume you played baseball growing up to get you a college opportunity, but were you diverse or just baseball? Yeah, so I played baseball. I've played baseball my whole life, pretty much. I played basketball. I quit playing basketball to focus on football and baseball. I quit that after my freshman year. Okay. And then I played football through my junior year, and then I had a knee injury, so I didn't play my senior year. So, but baseball's always been what I've been best at. Yeah. But I was 2 or 3 sports pretty much my whole life. Awesome. That's good to hear, because that's something I know it's important at Loveland, where we're not that big and we're Division II and everything now with the way the new rules are. So it's great to be able to focus on that multi-sport athlete. And it's called multi-sport athlete. It's not multi-sport star. Right. If you're a star, you're going to be there. You can play whatever you want. But it's awesome that I think we have a great
that we continue to improve on how we can give the ability for kids to play multiple sports, and you definitely bring that. You know, what are some of the things that are your primary roles in a given week? I mean, because you're behind the scenes, you're doing a lot. We see you up here early on Saturdays for freshman games, late on Thursdays for a soccer game. What are some of the things that you have to do within a given week?
So a lot of the time during the week, it just depends on what season it is and what all we have. For game nights, me and Jason are always here. One of us are always here. On the bigger game nights, we're both here. But during the week, we usually confirm officials, confirm games, set up games, player eligibility, player discipline, kind of like a lot like the financials behind the scenes. There's a lot of things that I don't think people know that we do. Yeah. The jokes amongst a lot of athletic directors are like, we just don't sit there and watch the games, I promise you.
Right.
But no, I think we do a good job here of kind of splitting up the work between me, Jason, and Christy, of kind of figuring out what our strengths are and kind of making sure that if we need help, someone's there. But a lot of the financials we do, like setting up for football, like anything like around this district, we kind of do. And then I'm in charge of also the whole building calendar for the entire school.
Okay.
So like they book music concerts through me, any special events for like robotics, stuff like that pretty much all goes through me. So I'm in charge of the whole calendar. And like I unlock doors, I turn on lights, I do all of that.
Nice. Is there some things that are better than other? I mean, you're not able to watch the game as well. I mean, you get to see the game, but you got to worry about the other things too. Are there things that you like better than others?
Yeah, I don't like kicking out parents. That's the first thing.
Oh, you should like that. That would be awesome. I mean,
but overall, like we also have good parents here.
Yeah.
But that's my least favorite thing. No one likes to kick out a parent. Mostly because sometimes
they usually deserve it.
Yeah, but sometimes they're right, and I got to kick them out anyway after a bad call. But
yeah, that's true.
But a lot of the times I do get to just sit there and kind of enjoy the game. I'm pretty close with almost all of our kids. Like getting to know them and watching them after school and doing something they love is the best part of the job.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. What? So, are there things that you need from the community? I mean, how can people help out to get involved in the athletic department?
Really just through the boosters, they can do that.
Yeah.
We always take volunteers no matter what, for the boosters and two with us. We've had a few alumni come back and do internships with us, with Kate Gary and Britton Faust.
Right.
They've been here the last 2 years that they did internships with us. And now we have a senior, George Timon, who like also helps us, and then we'll have Avery Muse next semester. So, I mean, if you're interested in sports and you're a younger grad and still in college wanting to test it out, we take help. Like if you want to come help set up on a game day or just see what it's like, we do take help with that.
That's great. Good to know. Well, you seem pretty passionate about your time here at Loveland, and we certainly hope that this is a great opportunity for you to stay for a long time. But what are your career goals?
So my career goals get I'm 27. So I don't really have like too many career goals, but I think I would like to be a high school athletic director somewhere, wherever that opportunity comes. And then after that, I would love to be maybe like a college professor. Just depends how the retirement works out with all that stuff. But I think that would be cool to, be my favorite professors in college. And I think everyone can agree is kind of like the adjuncts ones that's been in the world and then teach about it. Not just, like I graduated and I started teaching about what I learned.
Right.
Like been in the real world experiences. So that's kind of something I've looked into, but I do love high school athletics, and I'm interested to see where it takes me, but I think I would like to be a high school athletic director one day.
And is that what you would, after the athletic director experience, would the professor, you'd be working at a college, hopefully, that would be offering up this type of a profession, or you want to go teach history or math or something?
No, I would like to do like more teach of like the sport admin world about what I do every day.
Right.
I would have to get my doctorate for that, which I've looked into a little bit. But I think I would like to teach of like what I've done my whole life. So I think that'd be kind of cool.
It's great to have goals and whatnot.
I'm also in no rush to be an athletic director.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people that tell me like, oh, I burnt out. Like don't ever be in a rush. So like, I mean, I have, I think 30 years left until I can retire in public school retirement.
Yeah.
Like I'm not in a rush to be an athletic director.
Right. But put in the hard work and do it now when you're young.
Yeah.
I've talked to numerous athletic directors over the years as friends or throughout Loveland and our last couple here, and it's a very difficult job.
Mm-hmm.
But both of them that are past athletic directors, or really the last three, all of them were able to make a decision where they could go better their family life because they put the time in for a lot of years.
It's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours. I mean, you guys might you think of, oh yeah, they what do they do? And it's like, are you kidding me? They're usually here first and they're here last, and the coverage and drive to, you're going to Mercy McCauley tonight.
Yep.
It's Thanksgiving week. Everyone should be lazy, but somebody has to go represent.
Well, and I think it's like the fall, like everyone talks about, like in our world, like the beast of the fall. There wasn't one, like of the 10 weeks of football, there wasn't 1 week under 55 hours that I put in.
Really?
Because if we host Friday night, we're here till 11 p.m.
Right.
And if we don't host Friday night, well, we have Saturday morning.
Right.
That we're here at 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m. until that's done at 1:30.
Right.
So,
and then usually a lot of times
2 to 3 soccer games,
after the football game,
a volleyball game or two.
Right.
So there's just a lot of them.
Well, thanks for all you do, and especially thank you for the Twitter updates, because I know I can't get to all the games, but I am a sports fan, so I'm always scrolling Twitter at night looking up for how our volleyball girls do or how this team do, because I know a lot of people and whatnot. And it's awesome to be able to rely on what you guys do to keep the community updated. So thank you very much. So speaking of keeping the community updated, let's dig into what this is about. We wanted to provide an update on kind of where the fall teams were. And I envision that this is something, if we get good response, we could do this after the winter and after the spring. And it's a way for you to get out there and provide the success of Loveland in that season. So first of all, girls golf. Let's talk a little bit about them first.
So girls golf, they were led by 7 seniors and Coach Megan Shelley. They improved from match 1 until the end of the year by improving over 40 strokes with that strong leadership. And then they had an ECC honorable mention in Maddie Spencer. And then I believe they had 9 ECC all academics.
9 EC. Okay, great. Well, that's awesome. They're I know Coach Orsinelli, the previous coach, and their golf is one of those sports that they'll take all comers. So good to see that improvement.
And it's also a life game. I think that's the best part about it.
That's something.
I'll advertise for boys and girls golf real quick. That's something you're going to do your whole life. Yep. So you might as well start it now. Exactly.
And you may not think I want to be an athlete, but you can go be an athlete playing golf, and you can help the team. Good to hear. What about boys golf?
Boys golf, they were 8-1 in the league. They were ECC tournament champs, I believe, for the 2nd year in a row. They also qualified for districts for the 2nd year in a row, getting out of their tough sectional. They had, so the way golf works, it's a little funky with like first team and second team and like how those work, because you have to do so well in the preseason tournament, during the year, and in the postseason tournament. But we had 2 second teamers for winning the tournament. We had 2 second teamers, Casey Eversole and Ethan Walsler.
Awesome. And then I think I saw Ryan Ashby was honorable mention.
Yeah, Ryan Ashby was honorable mention as well. Yeah. So, like, again, how that works is, like, you have to place in the tournament. So if you miss that preseason tournament because you're sick or anything, like, it hurts you.
Right.
But, so, winning the tournament, I think, was the big thing. I mean, our kids aren't really too hung up on first and second team and all that.
Well, and it shows what a true team sport it is for an individual type sport. It's pretty awesome that, we were 9-1, won the conference, did so well.
Yep.
And then, you're always going to have an outlier in an individual sport like golf where you have guys that are going to be first team all league, but hey, we won it where it mattered. So that's pretty cool. And then let's talk about something very successful this year. I had Coach Jenny Kapsakavich on, but girls tennis.
Yeah. This is a fun group, and honestly, semi-young. So ECC champs, they were 8-0 in league play. It came down to them and Turpin. I believe it was Turpin. They had ECC Player of the Year, Marley Fleming. ECC Coach of the Year, and Jenny Kapsakavich. Second team ECC was Lauren Hyatt as singles, and Jenna Bullock and Maddie Murphy as doubles. And so that team was a lot of fun to watch. Obviously very good. And then playing pretty well coming postseason time. The ECC, when it comes to tennis, the Indian Hills, the Sycamores are all pretty good, and we played pretty well.
Yeah. That's great. And I think I saw Anna Pirana Raps was honorable mention, right?
Correct.
So yeah, let's give her due pub. So that's awesome. And I can just see in knowing the coaches and seeing some of those girls, and because Marley's coming back, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a junior.
Yep.
So that'll be a good future for girls tennis. All right, let's move on over to the little running. What about boys cross country?
Boys cross country. So we get to see them a few times a year. We host their big meet, which is always on Labor Day weekend. And then I always love asking to go to the ECC one, because that's a lot of fun to be at. And I'll be honest, this city is a running city.
Yeah.
Anytime you're outside, someone's running. But boys cross country, they were second in the ECC. Ronan Wolfer was an ECC champ. Ian Trombley finished third. Luis was 8th place, and Evan was 11th.
Nice.
As a team, they were district runners up and qualified for the regionals, and then Ronan qualified for state as an individual this year.
Nice.
And I will say that was a lot of fun to watch them. Little Miami had a great year for cross country, and we were right there neck and neck with them. As when I don't know much about cross country, but I was watching them, and like Ronan ran a 15:30, I believe, that day, and Ian was right behind him in a 15:45-ish for first and third, which is pretty impressive. So we had Little Miami on the ropes. It wasn't quite enough, but it was a lot of fun to watch those boys run.
That's great. That's great. And what about the girls' side of cross country?
So the girls' side, the girls also finished second in the ECC. They were behind a very powerful Milford team this year. Delaney Silly got second, Caroline Mernan got 9th, and Parker Mincer got 14th. They were also a district runner-up and qualified for regionals as a team, which is very impressive. And then Delaney and Caroline also qualified for state as individuals.
Okay, great. All right, moving on to the big sport that I know quite a lot about, but I'd rather hear you talk about it, the football team.
So the football team, we were 3-7 this year, missed the playoffs by 2 spots. On the bright side, though, we lost 4 conference games by 9 points or less. So if you don't know football, I mean, that's 2 to 3 plays a night that we were in. Some things just didn't go our way.
Yep.
There was a lot of bright spots, and I think, honestly, we're still a semi-young team. We're going to lose a lot of veteran leadership on that team, but I do think we do have some pieces in place to hopefully fill those roles. For first team, we had ECC. We had Luke Klein and Brady Stidham, Sawyer Muchmore, and Dylan Hacker. For second team, we had Max Carver, Cole Dalkey, Calvin Lorick, Tyler Roberts, Will Weichert, and Joel Vobroker. And then Chase Martin was honorable mention ECC. And then Brady Stidham was first team All-District, and Dylan Hacker was second team All-District. And when the All-State teams come out, I would not shock to see Dylan Hacker on there maybe as honorable mention, and Brady Stidham first or second team when those come out.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, well said. I mean, we had some injuries early on, and, we can't thank the coaches enough for stepping up with the departure of Andy Cruz, who took a career opportunity at the next level. And so it was a tough spot. But I'll tell you what, I mean, I was here with one of my other kids 6 years ago, 6 years ago, when the running clock was put on us every game. Mm-hmm. And, we put the running clock on a couple this year, and we also had it against some really good teams like Anderson and Harrison, who both went deep into the playoffs. But this team never quit. They never gave up. They learned a heck of a lot about life. And that definitely is a football team is going to be in a better place next year than what it was this year.
And I think some people our football conference is pretty tough.
Yeah.
Lebanon went 2 rounds deep. Winton Woods went 2 rounds. Who lost to St. X, who went to the regional final. Anderson's still in a Final Four.
Right.
There's still things that in this conference there's good football to be played.
Absolutely. People always want to talk about Cincinnati, about the Division I's and the big schools, the private schools, and the Lakotas and whatnot, but the ECC is pretty darn good, and people forget that half the ECC is Division I.
Yeah, well, and I think the other thing that people forget, in all sports, is I believe we're the 3rd smallest ECC school.
3rd smallest.
I believe so. I believe Anderson and Turpin are the only 2 that are smaller than us.
Right. Well, and Anderson recruits all their kids for football, so that's a story for another day. But yeah, if we did the recruiting, that'd be a little different. All right, how about boys soccer?
Boys soccer. They are a fun team to be around. I will tell you that. They had a little bit of a slow start. They finished 4-3-2 in the conference, which I believe was 5th or 6th. We were undefeated in the regular season against our Division II opponents. So we beat Sycamore, we beat Kings, and we beat Anderson.
Okay.
Which those 3 teams are pretty good. What the division changes, these were one of the teams that it did kind of, I would say, more and more hurt them. With the 6 teams that are in Division II in the South are very good teams.
Yeah.
So, but we went undefeated in the regular season. Oh, we also beat Winton Woods, who was a Division II opponent. Will Bertoli and Jason Bachman were first team all-conference. Blake Hatfield and Charlie Hammer were the second team all-conference, and Will Bertoli was first team all-district, and I believe he was first team all-state. Will Bertoli in the goal, he helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
I think for a team that was young in the start, that also was trying to figure out themselves with Bachman coming back from being sick, and kind of figuring out what losing Ian Sirik from the year before in the middle that controlled everything. Bertoli has been rock solid for the last 3 years in goal. So that team was a lot of fun to watch.
Great. And then Aiden Smith, I saw, was an honorable mention, which is great. I've known that family for some time. So, they're a young team, so we'll look for some good stuff with the boys soccer coming up for next year. All right. Now we've got probably the two most popular things that occurred this fall. Let's talk about girls volleyball.
Girls volleyball, they finished 22-5. 15-3 in the conference, which was good enough for second in the conference. They were district champs, regional finalists, and the farthest that they've ever made it in school history. So that team, if you don't know a lot of volleyball, they were a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
A lot of fun to watch. We were led by 5 seniors, and then our first team all-conference was Abby Dorn and McKenna Curlin. And then we had second team all-conference of Sophia Loomis and Josie Nichols. This team, watching them play and come together, their tournament route was a little different this year for dropping divisions. Division 2 was very tough with Anderson, as Anderson was ECC champ. St. Ursula, who ended up, I believe, winning the state title, who we lost to.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Mount Notre Dame, who's also very good, and then King's the defending state champ. All of us in Division 2. 5 of us basically fighting just to get out of the Southwest.
Right.
And those 5 teams were all top 10 in the state in Division 2.
Right.
So that is tough to do and tough to get out of. But girls volleyball, they chose the route to go after Anderson and then go through Columbus. So they had a play-in game for round 1 against Harrison. Beat them 3-0, and then we had Anderson in the second round, which was basically a make or break. We split in the regular season. We beat them at home. They beat us at Anderson. So basically how that went was, I will say that might have been the best volleyball we played all year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't close. We played a great team that is filled with Division I girls, a very well-coached team that's been there, done that. But we played very well.
That's great.
And then we went on to beat Troy in the district final 3-0. And then we beat Worthington Kilbourne from Columbus 3-1. And then took a tough loss to St. Ursula, but I'll tell you what, because there's a big notion with private school, public school volleyball.
Right.
We played very well. We lost the first set, won the second set, and then we were in the third set, and then kind of ran out of gas in the fourth set.
Yeah.
But very proud of that team. And then also back to those teams, Kylie George was honorable mention, and then McKenna Curlin was also on the All-State team.
That's great.
So that team, led by those seniors, Sophia Loomis committed to Wright State. I don't know if Abby Dorn is going to play college volleyball, but she is a Division I volleyball player. McKenna Curlin committed to Lipscomb, and Josie Nichols committed to Eastern Kentucky. I'd expect that team to be back in some pressure games next year.
That's great. Games. Good to hear. Good to hear. And lastly, girls soccer had another successful season.
Yeah, girls soccer. So one thing I've learned about this place is girls soccer are the workhorses around here. They get after it. Todd Kelly retired at the end of last year, just due to some health reasons and just kind of commitment with his kids in college. Todd Kelly, and going through losing a legend like Todd Kelly after 29 years and then switching to Coach Craig Schmiel in his first year, is a big change in a world of, especially when a culture has been built for 30 years and just trying to figure out what works and figure out what doesn't work. For a new head coach. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Craig Schmiel. I mean, that was a great season they had.
Yep.
They finished 13-5-3. They were 6-2-1 in the conference. It was third place. They were district champs, who we beat Northmont in a district final 3-1. We were regional champs, and in that regional semifinal game, avenged the 18-0 Anderson Raptors of it was a 1-0 win in double overtime. We played that game up at, where was that? I think it was Xenia. I could be wrong. But that game was a lot of fun to watch, especially with the powerhouses that Anderson has up front and in the goal. And then avenging a loss from my first year in a regional final of beating Mount Notre Dame.
Right.
And that was a great game in penalty kicks. So that was a lot of fun to watch. And we won in penalty kicks 0-0. It was a 0-0 after double overtime. So penalty kicks, and we won. I think it was 5-4 in extra kicks, actually. So North Schmidt had 3 straight saves to basically put us in a win. And then we went to a Final Four for the first time since 2017. We lost a heartbreaker a minute into double overtime, but enough can't be said about that team and how hard they've worked and how much they've came together and really brought a lot of people back to that girls soccer program that they're back.
Yeah.
First team all conference, Peyton Morgan-Ruff, Alexis Harden, Kinsey Dunlap. Second team was Avery Muse, Nora Schmidt, Lucy Perusik. And then for honorable mention, they had Taylor Hermanson, a freshman.
Right.
Kinsey Dunlap and Alexis Harden were also all district. And Kinsey Dunlap was also named to the all-state team.
Nice.
So that team had 6-7 seniors that really led them. But I'll tell you what, they played 3 freshmen quite a bit. And they're like, we'll miss those seniors, no doubt. But I think that culture has built itself over the past few years.
Right.
Where they're ready to step in and play.
Nice. Good to hear. Good to hear. Well, thanks for an impressive rundown. One last thing. Let's talk about the cheerleaders, what they've already done, and what they're getting ready to do.
Yeah. So cheerleading, I know it's more of like for sideline cheer, it is more of a fall and winter sport, but their competition team is very good. After last year getting second in nationals with their highest score ever, they have already this year qualified for nationals again in February, and then they just went up to Upper Arlington 2 weeks ago and they won the best in the states competition up at our Upper Arlington High School. So still more competitions to come, but a very good competition cheer team that we have here. And a lot of those girls are on our football sideline cheer.
Right.
So they are very good at what they do. They have an All-American banner in our gym now from what they did last year, but building a strong program there. And as cheer is growing as a high school sport on the competitive side, they've been very, very well. Yeah. They've done very well.
Yeah, they do. And on the sideline cheer, it's a great thing on Friday nights. It brings the whole community together. Mm-hmm. It's one of the great things about.
And look for them to build on the basketball sideline now during timeouts. So.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so doing the building.
Yep.
Nice. So with all that said, Shayne, do you know where we're ranked third of the way through with the ECC All Sports Trophy?
I would have to. I have not looked.
I wonder if that's.
It is out. So we are currently in second. Behind Anderson.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But so we need to have a good winner. I'm hoping. We're currently Anderson's got 72 and we're at 67. But we are the defending champs, so hopefully we can do something about that. Looking forward to a good winter and a good spring as well. I think we got a good shot on a lot of things. And I mean, yeah.
That's great. Well, let's have a little fun here before we close up. So you are now entering what's called Josh's Smoking Seat. I'm going to rattle off some questions for you and just your gut reaction. So Skyline or Gold Star?
Skyline.
Being a Columbus guy,
Skyline is not even close.
Okay, good.
I was a Skyline guy before I moved here. So
were you?
I was ready.
That's great. Should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
What's your first concert?
The Weeknd.
All right, that's a good one. Yeah. Tiger or Jack Nicklaus?
Tiger.
All right. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
When you eat corn on the cob, are you a typewriter or a rotator? Do you go back and forth or do you rotate?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. You're anarchy. Yeah. You just kind of go where the corn is, right? And then when you make cereal, do you put the milk in the bowl first or the cereal first?
Cereal first.
Okay. All right. And then have you met any famous athletes?
Not like super famous, but one of the Colts wide receivers, me and him went to high school together, so that's kind of what I consider that.
Cool. I just have some fun. But Shayne, we really appreciate everything you're doing for our community. Anything else you want to add?
I just want to give a thank you to everybody for welcoming me to Loveland 3 years ago. I do love this place, but we had a great fall through and through with our athletes. We have great kids here.
Yeah.
We have amazing kids here and amazing families here. So I just want to give everyone a thank you. Like, you guys make my job a little easier every day, even though sometimes it does get harder. But overall, everyone in the city and in this town does mean well. So I just want to give everyone a thank you for that one.
Awesome. That was nice touch. And that goes, I agree 100%. And you're going to wake up here in a few years after your stint as a athletic director in your next chapter, and you'll be teaching at some university, your end goal, and you'll be thinking back to your time at Loveland. So Shayne, thank you very much. We appreciate it, and go Tigers.
Thank you.
This episode was sponsored by Cappy's Wine and Spirit in downtown Loveland. Tap room, bottle shop, meeting place, great music, gift ideas, and a traditional watering hole. Visit Cappy's for all your upcoming holiday needs or watching the upcoming big games. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and good luck this winter, Loveland, as we strive to take over Anderson to lead for the All-ECC Sports Trophy. Peace.